Hi, David Moore with IRA Advantage, and I've got Tina Colson in my office meeting up with us today, doing some questioning. So it's Tina's testing Wednesday.
This becomes a theme.
That's right. So I hope she's nice to me today.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about the Checkbook IRA versus a solo 401k. What are the advantages and the disadvantages to each? And also, who's eligible? How do we choose what product to put a person in?
Great questions. I think that the first thing I would say is that if you can use a solo 401k, you're going to want to use a solo 401k for a variety of reasons. But as far as eligibility for any of these things, understand self-directed retirement accounts. Any IRA can become self-directed. We're looking at 401k plans. You've got to be real careful with what's going to fit. And so if you're happily employed, a current retirement account, current company plan, under 59 and a half, you're not going to be able to get access to the money. I've had people quit their jobs to get access to money. We've had people step away, even business owners step away from their positions to get access to money when they're not old enough to do it. So,
and even divorces, unfortunately.
Yes.
We have seen it all.
And then we've got other situations where people come in and we'll do accounts for two different people and they end up getting married. So it's you got to really be careful with what's going on, because when you're looking at those retirement accounts, what they want to do with it, obviously, things change a lot if you go from two individual people to a married couple. So when we're looking at IRAs and 401k plans, most of the time when people come to us, as you know, you've been here with us for a year now, why do they come to us? They come to us because they want to buy something Wall Street doesn't sell typically.
Correct.
They do either a business startup, they want to further diversify into real estate, make loans, buy notes, something along those lines. Maybe at this point in time they're interested in crypto, something like that. But that's why they're coming to us. And then understand that I should know this, but I don't know what percentage of investment real estate is leveraged. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big differences. When we're looking at self-directed retirement accounts, IRAs, you have tax exposure on income that's income and gain attributable to leverage, where the 401k plan you do not. So that's a big differentiation between those two things. So once again, if you could have a solo 401k, which is a single participant, or you could have a spouse participate in it too. But we're talking about, you work for yourself, self-employed, no employees, even part-time, then that solo 401k is going to be an attractive deal. So obviously, real estate brokers, a lot of them, that's a great vehicle for them. If you don't have a business or you've got employees, then you're going to want a checkbook IRA probably. And either way, as I mentioned with the 401k plan, we can have an individual and his or her spouse as a participant in that thing too. If we're combining multiple accounts in the IRA space, it's going to require, if we're doing a checkbook IRA, you're going to have an account for each spouse. And then those accounts are going to be common members of that limited liability company. So what I've got to say about that is when we're structuring these things, if it's a multi-member checkbook IRA LLC, for example, we need to look at that membership. And if it's disqualified parties as members, we need to make sure that we overfund the initial investment. What I mean by that is, if we don't get all the money in when we put the deal together, you can't have additional money coming in from a disqualified source in the future. That would constitute a prohibited transaction. So it's really important that we're planning ahead and taking care of that stuff with multi-member LLCs, checkbook IRA LLCs. But the big differences to me are that tax on leverage that the 401k plan doesn't have. The other big deal is that the cost of a prohibited transaction.
And
so
I just want to clarify one thing too. When we're talking about leverage, for those of you who may not be familiar with that term, it's basically getting a mortgage with the property that you're purchasing. So that leverage is that debt component of it, and it is treated differently when it comes to the tax portion.
Thank you, Tina. We had a discussion earlier today or the last few days talking about industry terminology and what goes on and even things like relinquished and replacement property, so on and so forth. So thank you. And for those of you out there, I get really excited, so I start talking very quickly. But anyway, I'm married to an Italian, so this starts going too. So anyway, right, Sheila? But when you're looking at those two things, that the tax exposure on leverage is huge, and the cost of prohibited transaction is even bigger, right? If you commit a prohibited transaction with an IRA, you blow up the entire account as of the first day in the year in which the indiscretion occurred, where the 401k plan is just the money involved with the indiscretion. So that's a big, big difference. 401k plan, you're not going to have that trust company too, so that makes a difference. You're typically with one of our accounts, you're going to have a bank account, the plan's name and tax ID number, and you're the trustee of that plan, signer on the account. So it works just like a checkbook IRA, but it's more forgiving. And I guess when I look at, if you've got that choice, if we're looking at, and as I said, most of the time people are coming to us, they want to further diversify their accounts. So they're not going to pull everything out of Wall Street. They just want to add real estate to it. And if we're doing that with an IRA, I'm going to encourage them to keep all the Wall Street stuff with their current financial advisor and just move what they want to use in the new self-directed IRA. Because if they commit a prohibited transaction, you make a poor investment decision with your Wall Street stuff, but you can't really blow it up. Where with one of our checkbook IRAs, if you want to do something dumb, there's really not much safety net. So if we're looking at debt diversification, let's move what you want to use in the self-directed world into the checkbook IRA LLC and keep the Wall Street stuff where it is. And as money piles up in the self-directed account, let's say cash flow off the property, you're going to have to shovel it back through the LLC, back to the trust company, back to your existing financial advisor. So it's more cumbersome. I mean, think about life. When is the easy way always the best? When is the easy way ever the best way to do something, right? It's just sort of, that's the world. So the right way to do it is move back from the LLC through the trust company back to your current financial advisor. And by doing that, if you commit a prohibited transaction over here with that checkbook IRA, it doesn't impact this over here. What's the easiest way to do that? Just open a trading account in the LLC's name and tax ID number. So those are two different ways to do it. But that's necessary, really, if you want to protect it. You have to do it with the IRA. Where the 401k plan, you're not going to do that. You're just going to have a trading account and the plan's name and EIN. So those are the big issues that I see, really. The cost of a prohibited transaction and the tax on leverage, those are the big deals. Other than that, as far as the operation of those two things, they both work the same way. You're writing a check to go make the investment you want. So if you've got questions on this stuff further, just please give us a call. But once again, I want to stress, for the 401k, you've got to be self-employed without employees. Yes. The IRA does not have that situation. So those are the biggies.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering that. And thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it. IRA Advantage, David Moore and Tina Colson. We also would love it if you hit that like button on the YouTube channel and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, you can reach us at 503-635-1031 or iraadvantage.net. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.